Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of Working with Command Blocks. Today we are doing wireless redstone. As you can see, there are two, what are these called? Redstone lamps here, with nothing behind them. And if we go over here, press this button, this one turns on, and if we flip this lever, that one turns on. So, this is technically wireless redstone, but this is ugly. What if you, don't have enough space to do things like these with all the command blocks behind them? That's where all of these come in, mainly just these two for testing purposes. I'm going to go ahead and first turn on this clock, and this chat is going to be spammed saying that this button is off, and if I hit it, it changes to this button is on, and then when it releases, it goes back to off. Here we have, I'll go over all that in a bit. That is quite annoying, and I'm sure that in some cases that would be good to have it constantly checking, like every 20th of a second, I believe is how long a tick is. But since we have that clock off, that won't work. But if we do this one, it just says it once, and that's because it does it with a redstone block over there. So let's go back over here and look at these, because I forgot to show you guys the commands and how everything worked when I first went over here. But so we hit this button, it powers this redstone dust, which turns this on and turns off this redstone torch, which means that this will not be powered. So what this does is it places the redstone block behind there, and then once the button is released, this redstone torch turns back on and changes that redstone block to air. It's the same thing over here except with the lever and different coordinates, obviously, but everything else is the same, and that's how that works. And once again, all the commands will be down in the description. If we go over here, what this does is we have two of these repeating command blocks. I forgot the name. Two of these repeating command blocks here that check the block data of this button right here. This one right here tests if it is off, and if it is off, since this is conditional, it says Emerald button is off, and it sets this, which I forgot to mention, to 0. When it is on, it tests if it's on. The block data for which way it's facing and whether it's on or off are all different, and I'm sure you can find that somewhere. But if it is on the west side and on, it's 9. If it's on the west side and off, it's 1. So we have that, and if that is true, it says the emerald block is on, and it sets the button status to 1, which I have to turn on that to do that. So off, on, off. Same thing over here, except these don't need to have a redstone input because there's no chat spam, so I just left it on always active. So we hit this, it tests for it, and if it is true because of the conditional, that is on, it places a redstone block right here. Whoops, I can fly. I should not say so much. This is supposed to be a tutorial. I have to know what I'm talking about. It places a redstone block here, which powers that, and it says iron button is on. And then because of how the 1.9 command blocks works, this arrow means it also powers this, because it's a chain command block, and it changes the status to 1. Over here, it inverts it and changes it to off and sets the status to off. So it's just another testforblock. If true, change that, and when the button is released, it gets rid of that. So, pretty simple. Over here, I just did the same exact thing, except I did it with a bunch of different buttons, and I did a tell raw command rather than /say. which you can see right here. Lots of stuff going on. Tell raw, when button's activated, color, aqua, bold, true, that sort of stuff, and then when it's deactivated, same thing. So these are the same. It tests for whether it's activated or not. Of course, it's a different block data because the button's on top, 5 and 13, rather than whatever I did for over there. And then same thing, it does the redstone block here, which does just the tell raw rather than /say. So it only needs one command block since I'm not doing the scoreboard. So it works for buttons, works for pressure plates, just different test for blocks, of course. Works for these, works for levers, as we saw back there, and it even works for, I don't know why I have this here. Hold on. It even works for daylight sensors. So right now I have this on to test for when the light level, when it's at 0. You can do this for any light level, I just have it at 0. That data thing is for the light level, and if we press F3, and I forget where the block light is exactly. Oh, right here. 0 block light. Right there. So, the block light right now is 0, and it is accurately outputting that. And that spams the chat, so that's why I have a lever there, so it's not constantly doing that. But, yeah, that's basically wireless redstone. All the commands will be down in the description. I think that's all I have to go over. Also, I'd like to thank Lost Silver 666MC for the idea of wireless redstone. And I think that's it. If you have any questions, ask me in the comments. And if you have any suggestions for what I should do a tutorial on, also let me know down in the comments below. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!